Hi guys, JT here. Today I'm bringing you some information on the Humble Humble 15-time Capsule Bundle of February 2026. To help you answer the question, should you buy it? By using the links in the description below, you'll gain access to this bundle and support the channel in the process. Before I begin, I'd like to thank you the viewers for watching my silly videos. I hope they're helpful. Most importantly, knowing that you're watching it means the world. But first, a word from our sponsor, JT After Dark. You've read the threads, you've seen the warnings, but you haven't heard them like this. I'm JT. I take the internet's most terrifying stories and give them a voice. From Reddit's deepest archives to the legends that haunt the web, I bring the horror to life. Join me on JT After Dark. Subscribe now and let's see what's hiding in the shadows. Anyway, let's get into this. At number 1 we have Oddsparks, an automation adventure. A clever fusion of factory automation and real-time strategy that feels like a cross between Factorio and Pikmin. Instead of traditional conveyor belts, you utilize titular sparks, adorable magical animated creatures, to transport resources and operate workshops. You design intricate logistics networks by laying paths and giving logistical instructions to your growing squad, who carry materials from one station to another. The gameplay loop centers on exploration and expansion within a procedurally generated fantasy world. You start in a cozy village, where you accept quests from NPCs to unlock new buildings, recipes, and specialized spark types. These creatures are not just workers, they are also your primary means of defense. Because your character cannot fight directly, you must lead your sparks into battle against unusual enemies like Bielephants. You'll find that combat requires careful micromanagement, as you command units to dodge attacks and retreat when stunned. While the art style is whimsical, the depth of automation is serious. You must manage traffic, elevation, and complex logic gates to optimize production. Some sections can feel tedious, particularly the padded turn-ins toward the end, and the infantry management can be a struggle early on. However, the game excels at offering constant objectives. Whether you're optimizing an assembly line or exploring distant biomes for ancient secrets, there's always something to do. If you enjoy building large-scale systems but want a fresh, creature-based spin on the genre, this title provides a satisfying, addictive challenge for dozens of hours. At number 2 we have Kill Knight, an ultra-responsive, arcade-inspired isometric action shooter that throws you into a relentless abyss of eldritch horrors. This game combines the addictive one-more-run mentality of titles like Downwell with the lightning-fast, high-reflex combat scene in games like Hades. You play as a resurrected, desecrated corpse encased in reanimated armor, driven by a singular, violent purpose. Descend through 5 handcrafted layers of the abyss to kill the last angel. The gameplay centers on high-speed bloody ballet, where aggression is your only lifeline. You're armed with 2 pistols, a sword, and heavy weaponry, but mastering the game requires more than just mindlessly shooting. You must navigate a circular resource loop. Melee kills grant ammo for your heavy weapons, while absorbing drop gems allows you to unleash devastating wrath bursts that can convert enemies into much-needed health. A perfectly timed active reload system, known as Overdrive, further buffs your abilities, forcing you to maintain a rhythmic flow amidst the chaos. Visually, the game embraces a striking lo-fi brutalism, featuring neon-soaked environments and sharp UI reminiscent of 90s arcade classics. While the difficulty is notoriously punishing, even on lower settings, the responsive controls and deep equipment variety keep you engaged. You will face overwhelming odds and constant deaths, but the satisfying progression and global leaderboards make every hard-won victory feel exhilarating. If you crave intense skill-based action with a gothic flair, this title offers an electrifying, adrenaline-charged experience that is difficult to put down. At number 3 we have Inkbound, a tactical turn-based roguelike that masterfully blends the addictive progression of titles like Hades with the strategic depth of a high-stakes board game. This game places you in the Athenaeum, a vast library holding every story ever written. As a needless, you must dive into these crumbling tales to fight off the inked-based blight that threatens to erase them forever. The gameplay distinguishes itself through a unique free movement turn-based combat system. Unlike traditional grid-based RPGs, you can move freely within a circular arena, spending a resource called Will to reposition yourself or activate powerful abilities known as bindings. You must navigate a bullet hell style of telegraphed enemy attacks, carefully calculating your position to dodge incoming damage while maximizing your own offensive output. Success depends on your ability to build synergistic combinations of vestiges and augments that can eventually lead to broken power levels. While the game shines in its deep strategy and fluid multiplayer, which allows up to 4 players to coordinate attacks, it does have minor hurdles. You may find the story difficult to follow due to a heavy reliance on fictional proper nouns, and the visual clutter of combat indicators can occasionally feel overwhelming. However, the sheer variety of classes and a satisfying loop of unlocking new tools keep the experience fresh. If you're looking for a charming, intellectually stimulating challenge that rewards clever planning over mindless button mashing, you'll find this ink-stained journey incredibly rewarding. At number 4 we have Bionic Bay, a 2D atmospheric precision puzzle platformer set in a hauntingly beautiful ancient biomechanical world. You play as a scientist who, following a catastrophic laboratory accident, finds himself trapped in a vast, industrial labyrinth filled with lethal technology and surreal landscapes. Your primary goal is to escape this oppressive environment, while uncovering the sparse enigmatic breadcrumbs of a mysterious story left behind by others. The core of your journey revolves around an innovative swap mechanic paired with a realistic physics system. You're equipped with a unique teleportation instrument that allows you to instantly switch positions with objects in the environment. You'll use this power to bypass crushing traps, cross impossible gaps, and even redirect hazards like rockets or laser beams. As you progress, you gain further abilities to manipulate your surroundings, such as slowing down time or shifting the direction of gravity. Visually, you'll be immersed in a world of high-detail pixel art where moody lighting and striking silhouettes creates a sense of cosmic wonder and dread. While the difficulty is high and death is frequent, the game respects your time with a generous checkpoint system that encourages constant experimentation. Beyond the roughly 10-hour campaign, you can test your skills in an online mode featuring competitive speedrunning and global leaderboards. Bionic Bay is a masterclass in minimalist design, offering you a fast-paced, intellectually engaging adventure that demands both creative thinking and tight reflexes. If you crave a pure atmospheric platforming experience without unnecessary fluff, this is a journey you cannot miss. At number 5 we have Mark of the Deep, a pirate-themed isometric adventure that masterfully blends the exploration of a Metroidvania with the calculated punishing combat of a Souls-like. This game casts you as Marcus Rookie Ramsey, a young pirate shipwrecked on a cursed, mysterious island. Your primary objective is to locate your scattered crew, the Angry Mermaids, while unraveling the secrets of a dark affliction that transforms the inhabitants into grotesque fish-like abominations. As you navigate the island's interconnected biomes, from the abyssal woods to ancient ruins, you'll find the lack of a traditional map forces you to rely on environmental landmarks and your own memory. This design choice heightens the sense of isolation and discovery, though it may occasionally lead to frustration during backtracking. Combat is the game's centerpiece, demanding patience and precision. You utilize a signature grappling hook for melee combos, and unlock ranged weapons like flintlock pistols to manage crowds or trigger distant switches. The visual presentation is striking, utilizing 3D models against atmospheric 2D backgrounds that perfectly captures a grim nautical vibe. While the game draws clear inspiration from titles like Hades and Hollow Knight, its unique Brazilian flair and deep lore help it stand out. Every boss encounter feels like a fair but firm test of your skills, rewarding your victories with essential new abilities. If you enjoy challenging combat and immersive world building, Mark of the Deep offers a compelling, high-quality journey through a beautiful, brine-soaked nightmare. At number 6 we have Lugaru HD, a martial arts-driven action game that follows Turner, a rebel bunny on a brutal quest for revenge after the slaughter of his village. As you navigate this dark conspiracy involving corrupt rabbit leaders and ruthless wolves, you'll find a title that feels like a gritty kung fu flick mixed with Watership Down. The unique feature is the streamlined, context-sensitive combat. You won't find complex button-mashing combos here. Instead, you must choose the right move at the right time. Strategy is entirely open-ended, allowing you to storm in head-on or utilize stealth by monitoring wind direction and cleaning blood off your knife. The ragdoll physics add a satisfying weight to every strike, especially when a timed kick sends a wolf hurtling into a stone wall. However, the 2005 Origins show through some technical hurdles. You may encounter frequent crashes or skybox glitches on modern systems. Many veteran players suggest switching to the OSS Lugaru beta branch, or downloading the open source version to ensure stability. While the HD textures provide a graphical facelift, the movement remains a unique blend of fluid and rigid, featuring gravity-defying jumps. The AI is famously brutal, often calling for backup to exploit unfair fights. If you find the wolves too punishing, do not hesitate to select an easier difficulty. Despite its age and short length, the game offers deep modability and 3 additional fan campaigns. If you appreciate indie history and rewarding melee combat, Lugaru HD delivers a supreme vibe that remains more refined than its sequel. At number 7 we have Samorost 2, a surreal point-and-click adventure that follows a small space gnome on a frantic cosmic quest to rescue his dog from fruit-stealing aliens. Originally released in 2005 and significantly overhauled in 2020, this sequel expands on its predecessor by offering a longer journey filled with the studio's signature photographic collage art style and quirky textless storytelling. As you guide a gnome through a world made of driftwood, bark, and weathered stones, you'll find that the gameplay remains elegantly simple. There is no inventory to manage. Instead, you interact with the environment by clicking objects in the correct sequence. The 2020 update brings modern refinements, including upscaled graphics, a zoom feature, and a much-needed save system that replaces the old level codes. The atmospheric soundtrack by Tomasz Dvorak perfectly complements the whimsical, sometimes nonsensical puzzles involving everything from space seal flatulence to drugged alien slugs. While the game is incredibly charming, you should be prepared for its brief runtime. Most players finish the expedition in under an hour. Some puzzles can be non-intuitive, occasionally devolving into pixel hunting or trial and error, particularly during a few tricky timed sequences. Despite these minor frustrations, the sheer artistry and lack of padding make it a refreshing experience. Whether you're navigating underground alien bases or hitching a ride with a spacefaring air taxi, Samorost 2 serves as a beautiful, bite-sized reminder of why Amanita Design remains a master of the indie adventure genre. At number 8 we have Osmos, a physics-based puzzle game that places you in a microscopic world of cellular survival. This game tasks you with controlling a mote, a small orb floating in an ambient substrate. Your primary goal is simple: you must grow by absorbing smaller motes while avoiding those larger than yourself. The brilliance of the gameplay lies in its minimalist high-stakes movement. To propel yourself, you must eject mass in the opposite direction. Because of Newton's third law, every burst of speed literally shrinks you, turning movement into a tactical sacrifice. If you move too recklessly, you may inadvertently shrink until you're small enough to be devoured by the very targets you are hunting. As you progress through nearly 50 levels, the challenge shifts from serene feeding frenzies to complex orbital mechanics. You'll encounter sentient motes that actively flee or hunt you, attractors that pull objects into orbit like gravity, and volatile antimatter that annihilates anything it touches. While the game starts with a zen-like meditative pace, the difficulty spikes can be brutal, demanding high-precision maneuvers and calculated patience. Visually, the game is a dreamlike collage of glowing neon orbs set against a deep black void. This aesthetic, paired with a sublime ambient electronic soundtrack, creates a hypnotic trance. Though technical hurdles or repetitive levels might occasionally cause frustration, Osmos remains a rewarding experience that masterfully balances tranquility with the cold scientific reality of eat or be eaten. At number 9 we have And Yet It Moves, a physics-based puzzle platformer that challenges your perception of space by allowing you to rotate the entire game world. This game features a striking visual style made of ripped paper and digital collages, where you control a small hand-drawn paperman. Your goal is simply to navigate through surreal maze-like environments ranging from rocky caverns to dense jungles, until you reach each level's exit. The core of the experience is the rotation mechanic, which enables you to turn walls into floors and ceilings into traversable platforms. As you play, you must carefully manage momentum. Rotating the world while falling can help you land safely or increase your speed to clear large gaps. However, because you are made of fragile paper, hitting a surface too fast or from a wrong angle will cause you to shatter into pieces, forcing a restart from the last checkpoint. Throughout your journey, you'll encounter inventive puzzles involving shifting boulders, environmental hazards like fire, and even wildlife that you must manipulate using gravity. While the PC version restricts rotation to 90-degree increments, the gameplay remains consistently refreshing as it pushes a single clever idea to its full potential. The experience is further heightened by a unique organic soundtrack composed of beatboxing and ambient vocalizations. Although the game is relatively short and lacks a formal narrative, you'll find its abstract art style and intuitive trial-and-error gameplay to be an engrossing display of indie innovation. And that's all for this bundle. This bundle is a total nostalgia trip mixed with some serious new-gen heat. For just $15, you're snagging high-tier roguelikes like Inkbound and a brutal bullet hell Kill Knight, which are absolute steals. Throwing in OG classics like Osmos and Lugaru HD is a massive win for any completionist library. Whether you're grinding on Steam Deck or just padding your backlog, this time capsule offers insane value. Don't lag, grab it before the timer hits 0. In any case, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if this video was helpful, feel free to leave a like and subscribe, and maybe consider buying the channel a coffee. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.